Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Inspirational Pills. I am so glad you are here. Today's conversation is deeply personal for many of us because some of us don't have that courage. I'm guilty. The courage to be seen. So, the other day we talked about imposter syndrome, but then when you've overcome the syndrome and you're still holding on, like you're not still out there, it's a problem. And a lot of times it's because maybe we're scared or something. So today I've come to give you to explain to you what that fear you've been facing is. It's called visibility anxiety. And that is what we'll be talking about today. So that at the end of the day, I hope you would leave this meeting with more courage and you to be out there to make an impact. So let's start. So why is this important? Why is it important for us to be seen? It's not just for us to be influencers and out there. No, it's a way of making an impact. If you're really someone that is interested in people's growth, you would want to be seen. It's not about ego. So when you overcome imposter syndrome, you need to start working towards taking up speaking, trying to be out there, social media, even if it's your LinkedIn, write something out there, put out something, put out some kind of knowledge. And when you're doing it, see it as service. So visibility for me is more like service. It's not like, oh, it's something I'm enjoying, just being the spotlight. So visibility is more like service. And if you think about it as service, you would take it upon yourself to do it, not to impress people, but because you're interested in someone knowing what you have been opportune to know. So let's understand visibility anxiety. Most times, this happens because you're scared that people will judge you or criticize you or laugh at you in a meeting or when the spotlight is on you. And that's why I said earlier, you need to be out there not to impress people, but because of the impact you want to make, not about impressing anybody. So if you're out there tough skinned, trying to impact knowledge, you wouldn't be scared of who is judging you or criticizing you. Even if you feel like you're not fluent and all that, do it anyway. Then there's this fear of failure under the spotlight. I mean, it's something real. A lot of people are scared, like, okay, what if I go out there? What if I won't trip on stage? Or maybe I'm speaking and I say the wrong word. I get tongue tied. You get. All these are valid reasons why people have visibility anxiety. Sometimes it also has to do with gender, depending on where you're from. It could also be because, oh, women are meant to be stay modest, or maybe something about gender that makes you feel like you shouldn't come out. So there are different things that actually cause visibility anxiety, or perfectionism, because you just feel like you need to be so perfect. You need to have look a certain way. You need to have all your for the women, maybe all your makeup done, glowing and all that. You don't need all that. Today, I'm coming to encourage you to come out, step out, and speak out. So, what's the cost of staying invisible? There's a huge cost if you don't speak out. First of all, you would miss opportunities of advancement. There are ideas that come up in a meeting that you should have actually pitched, and you just go like, oh, let me just stay quiet before they'll say or something like that. You just hold on to that idea instead of speaking out, and that idea would have been a reason for advancement for you in that, maybe in your workplace, or maybe even create more opportunities like speaking engagements for you. But because of that, because of you want to stay invisible, you miss those opportunities. Then others shaping your narrative. At the end of the day, you start living based on what other people's opinions, like their own ideas. That's what shapes your narrative. So if you really want to take control of your narrative, you have to speak out. And it also reduces your influence as a leader. Because leaders make impacts. And how do you make an impact if you don't speak out, if you don't come out? And it stalls your personal growth and organizational growth, because that idea would have shifted the organization to a whole new level, but you just kept it to yourself. So we need to learn to speak out. I'm talking as if I'm not a victim. I actually do this a lot. There are a lot of times I have some good ideas and I don't speak up until maybe someone goes like, "Oh, okay, what do you think? What do you think about this? What should we do about this?" But I'm starting to learn that I shouldn't always wait to be called upon to before I speak out. I need to learn to give bring those ideas to the table. Even if sometimes it might play out in your head like, are you sure that's not a stupid idea? You need to speak out first, because visibility is like a muscle. If you don't train it, you won't grow it. So you need to learn to start somewhere. Even if it's the idea looks crazy, seems crazy, teach it, say it first of all before you start doubting yourself. I know we've dealt with doubting. Now learn to say what is on your mind. So reframing visibility. Let's stop seeing visibility as self promotion. It is not self promotion. Let us start seeing it as service. It's service to humanity. It could actually help someone else grow. So when we start seeing visibility as service, that's when we do it without judgment. Because there's this um little videos that I make, and it's things that maybe during my quiet time, things that came up to me, and I'm thinking, oh, someone else would probably benefit from this. And imagine if I keep keeping it, there are a lot of people that probably have benefited from it. Maybe they were going through tough times and they heard one thing or the other, and it helped them or gave them an idea of what they're really going through or something. So visibility is service, it's not self-promotion. Is not it at all. When you are seen, your work and ideas can influence and change. That's the only way you can drive change. I know a lot of times we sit and we talk about things that are going on wrong in the society, and we're like, oh no, this one should have been like this, like that. Okay, you know all that. When are you going to speak up? When would you speak up? When would you come and give your own view on how things should be done? And if we don't hear your views, how are we supposed to know? So leadership requires that we are seen for us to inspire and mobilize others. You don't lead from obscurity, you don't lead from the dark, you don't lead from being hidden. You lead being out there. And that's how you make an impact. That's how you change lives. So you have to build that mindset, recognize your value and your unique perspective. Recognize that you have something to you have something, you bring something to the table. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't have something to offer. So you have to recognize that your unique perspective is valid. You need to speak up and shift from, like, I can't say this enough, shift from fear of judgment. Focus on what you're contributing. Don't focus on what if they say, or they might say, or they would think. No, focus on the contribution that you're going to make, the change that you're going to inspire in someone's life or in your organization as a whole. So see visibility as an act of leadership, not ego. It's not about making you look good. So, what are the practical strategies that we can take? First of all, start small. Like I said, it's like a muscle. You have to develop it. You have to start small, start somewhere. You start, first of all, you can start by maybe putting something on your social media, LinkedIn, just start somewhere. Put out your opinions out there. Even start from your meetings. You can even volunteer and say, okay, in my team meeting next time, I'm going to present the updates. Those are little ways that you start. Start speaking in the meeting, even if it's briefly. Just say something. Even if you have to always say, Let me piggyback on, we gather a lot in meetings. Just start somewhere. Share your wins without apology, because the fact that you won in a certain place or in a situation can actually help someone else see how they would also win. You get? So don't shrink, share your story, and seek out opportunities where you can speak. Seek out, even if it's in your local assembly, church, organization, anything, just look for ways you can speak. It helps. Then networking also helps. You have to start networking intentionally. Start speaking to people. Don't be shy, don't hold back. Network, it helps, truly. So when you continue this, you overcome public speaking fear. That's what you have to. And to overcome public speaking fear, first of all, you have to prepare yourself, because I know most times it's not being prepared that causes the fear most of the time. Like, oh, what if I go and form? What if I forget what is even on my power? Like, I almost did that now, you know. So it's fear of public speaking. You you overcome it really by preparing and focusing on the audience, that focusing on serving the audience, not impressing your audience. Like, you can't impress people. People will always complain. There's always going to be one person that is not happy with how you talk or with what you're wearing or something. So it's not about impressing them, it's more about serving your audience. So use, and to calm your nerves, like before this meeting I did that as well. You use your you do a deep breathing exercise to calm your nerves, and start small. Don't aim for, oh, I'm waiting till I can speak in front of 10,000 people, when you've not spoken in front of 2 people, 3 people. So start small and build your confidence over time. So today we're going to think of one area in our leadership role where we've been hiding. I want all of us to think about it. Then get your journal, write down one action. In inspirational pills, we like you to write down your actions, because we need you to change whatever you've been doing in the past. That's why we always have this activity where you write down something on your journal. So this week, I want you to write down one step, one action you would take this week to step into the spotlight. For instance, you can say, I can start speaking at the next team meeting, or I'll be the one to present at the next team meeting. This visibility stuff just reminded me of, yeah, earlier in my career, when I would be the one that would do like the PowerPoint presentations for like the project coordinator to present and all that. But the initial project coordinator wasn't too active. And that was an opportunity for me, since I was the brain behind the PowerPoints and all that. That was an opportunity I would have stepped into visibility, because I had a lot to offer, to come out and speak about the things that were on the PowerPoint. But I would rather prepare it and give it to someone else and tell him to go and present. So the guy would present, and because he kept being the one presenting, he became the the manager, like the project coordinator, you get. He became the coordinator because he felt he was the brain behind the whole thing. So you see what lack of visibility can cost you. It can cost you opportunities. And that's why I'm here today, to speak to you, to change, to start speaking up. There are so many things that come out from being visible. So my closing message for you today is, leadership is not just about competence, it's about presence. So you need to make a change with your presence. When you allow yourself to be seen, that's how you inspire others to do the same and to change. Your voice matters. Take up your space unapologetically. Thank you.